Hello and welcome to a very grey day here in one of the blocks in the Chilcott estate. Is it the estate that was evacuated last night? This actual block was apparently evacuated. We didn't go. No one knocked on our door, so we didn't end up going. But I'll just take you to this window over here. As you can see, there's two other blocks there. This one was the first to get evacuated. Willis, who thinks about putting plastic cladding on these buildings? You see, this is the first of Camden buildings to be evacuated. It was about 4 or 5 blocks, right? And this is the first one, Taplow. So anyway, these blocks, Swiss Cottage, here we are. And anyway, they're all covered in it. Look, they're all covered in the stuff. So those 2 blocks now are sitting there empty. There might be a few people in there, but this seemed to be the one that was the most concerned, and they're the one that made all the fuss about, and the one that all the press went outside of. We went down to have a look. Right, I'm just with my nephew. We've come down to see all the commotion. How you doing?
I'm pretty good.
Well, what's happening is they're all being evacuated.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, isn't it?
Well, are you going to get evacuated?
I have no idea.
And then, I don't know what's happened to this one, but as we think, this building, that building, and that building have all been evacuated. They've been evacuated because of the cladding. I'm just going to show you a little bit about the cladding. This is the cladding. Can you see that? I can actually touch that. I don't know if you can see this, but that's where I've put cigarettes. I've been smoking cigarettes out the window, and without knowing that the cladding was absolutely inflammable, I've been putting cigarettes out like that and throwing them out the window. Well, no, it's not throwing them. Sticking them in the bin, because you don't want cigarette butts to hit on people's heads. But there you go. Look, you see it without even knowing that this is highly inflammable, and you can see from the cladding, it's just a little bit of aluminium, very thin aluminium. Then it's obviously got this plastic stuff which seems highly inflammable, and then another piece of aluminium. Well, now all of that is going to have to go. They reckon they said pack for 3 days, but it's but you're likely to be gone for a month. And I don't know if they're going to do all 4 blocks at the same time, but they're going to have to take this stuff off quick. I presume it's easier to take it off than it is to put on. But so they're going to do them all at the same time. They're going to do them one at a time. I don't know. We have to wait and find out. I mean, there seems to be some safety features which they could introduce, which would make things a lot easier for those kinds of situations. So I just wanted to have a little look at the window. So I don't know if you can see down there. We're on the 13th floor in the Grenfell fire. The poor mother who couldn't get out threw her child out of the 5th floor, and the child was catched by someone. They said it catched like a rugby ball. And and the child was saved. The mother died, unfortunately. So that's what the 13th floor. It's almost 3 times the size, but still, you kind of get an idea what the 5th floor would have been like, and how terrifying that would have been. Obviously, we haven't been evacuated yet properly. No one's knocked on the door. I mean, the only reason we knew we were getting evacuated was because it was on the telly. But as you see, we've got kids that I occasionally come and look after. But there was a couple of safety features I think could be really useful, you know. One of them I think would be great, would be, and maybe quite fun as well, not in a fire necessarily, but what about sort of emergency bouncy castles that are kind of like underneath the ground, underneath the concrete, right? It explodes, like there's a fire, then suddenly there's, and then there's this emergency bouncy castle, and then you can jump out the flipping window. You know, an airbag, and then you can go out and jump out of the window. And another one, which I think is quite important. Well, I have also seen these things with like backpacks, and you put the backpack on, and then you attach a hook like that, and then you've got this backpack with this string coming from you, and then you jump out the window, and it acts like a thing, and it lowers you down slowly like that, which I thought was looked quite good as well. Not great with the fire outside like this, but you know, it might be good. But I think the most important one was I saw this interview with a guy, and what he said was that his flat was the flat was filling up with smoke. So what he did was he did what the fire brigade said, is he put a towel under the door, and he stayed in, and he tried to escape several times, and he came he came to his front door, and then opened it, and it was just thick with smoke, thick with this toxic plastic smoke, and so he came back into his flat, and he couldn't do it. And apparently he was in his flat for about an hour. He was on the 15th floor until the flat filled up with smoke, and he had to get out. And apparently he put a towel over his face, and he went to the fire escape, which this isn't the fire escape, obviously. This is the fire escape, but it's the same kind of thing. There's one flight of stairs, and he went down the stairs, and it was thick with smoke. And he said he was walking over soft things. And he didn't equate that it was bodies at the time until he kicked some geezer, and he looked, and it was some dead geezer who had suffocated on the stairs. And he was going down like this, and he managed to get to the bottom. 15 flights of going down this without being able to breathe, and he nearly collapsed. Well, he said he collapsed once he got to the bottom, but I mean, thank God he got to the bottom. There was a lot of people who did that journey and didn't get to the bottom. Okay, so my point is, it's all very well sprinklers and all of that, but what about gas masks? I mean, gas masks would be really useful. You've got smoke detectors, that's always good. That looks like some sort of fire alarm of some flashing away. Oh, stop flashing. It's every time I don't look at it, it flashes. So it's got a fire alarm. And then we've got, let's see what we've got here. Well, that's useless, isn't it? There's something in there, but it's locked. That's no good. This is all the electricity, so there's no more fire things around here, but... Oh no, been locked out. But yeah, I mean, fire extinguisher or two might be nice. So, anyway, we found out on the news yesterday that they were evacuating the whole building. No one's knocked on the doors yet, so we didn't bother going. But, so we stayed here last night, so we're probably the only people in the block. Everyone's down at Swiss Cottage, are they? And what do you think? What do you think? Is that what you think? You say hello? Hello? No, he's not going to say hello. No, you're going to say hello. Hello? Is that what you think about the situation? Really? And how long did you be there? Hello? Really? Oh, that's interesting. You see, well, that's what they think about the situation. It's all very exciting. Well, not really. But yes, it's all quite happy with Camden for doing this, because they obviously saw the risks and thought, we better do something about this. But yeah, interesting. Bye.